Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming here and watching me do a bang video. I'll be talking about basically just basic bang trimming because as a hairstylist, I've seen people come in with things that they've tried, and just basic stuff is enough to get you through this whole thing. So we're going to do, well, I'm going to cover a curved bang, slight curved bang, straight, and an angle, and maybe add a slight bit of layering to that, because getting involved in layering the hair when you're not doing a whole haircut can actually make it look a little bit odd. So anything that you do hopefully will be just a little bit. And unfortunately, all the females in my quarantine here were lucky enough to have a essential job, and they're gone. But my son-in-law, Misha, is gonna sit in, and I'm gonna show you a bang section on him. It'll be easier for me to show you on a live person, and then I will actually go in and cut a little bit of hair off of me. Even though I don't have straight hair, you'll still be able to see the basic technique. So Misha's coming over.
Hi, everyone.
So when you do a basic bang section, there is no exact section, but basically whatever hair does fall forward naturally is usually what ends up in your bang section. And a lot of times the hair that kind of comes from the front, after you put the comb on the top of your head, it basically leaves the head. Those are the hairs that generally do fall forward, but not always, because we have cowlicks and things like that. So a basic bang section is either a curve or basically a pie, and you generally never go past the eyebrow, because that gets involved in these hairs, and that never is a good situation. But less is more. Don't do more than what your hairstylist has done. In establishing a new bang, just kind of comb down and make sure it's just the hairs that fall forward. So again, we're going to establish basic bang section where the comb leaves the head right here, will basically be where you would start it. And some people go from the part. If your part is over here, then your diamond shape will kind of start over here. But then, of course, you're going to have to take a little bit more over there. But basic, basic, basic. We're going to do just a pie section. And it's basically, again, from the end of the eyebrow up, right there. There's the beginning of your section. And his hair is super straight, so I have to hold it. And then basically there is your pie section. I'm not on the correct side over here. And then there is your pie right there, okay? And then when you're going in and cutting a curved bang, you'll be pinching the hair into the center, but you're not pulling tightly. The minute you pull tightly, then your hair is going to spring up and look kind of uneven. Hairlines don't follow straight lines, so if you pull down, you're going to end up with springing up hair. It depends on the body and the cowlicks in your hair. But for a basic curved one, we're going to pinch it into the center gently and then hold it. And then never cut straight across unless you're looking for a solid bang. I always tell people just to point cut. Just go in and point cut. Now, if he had longer hair, you would have seen that it would curve out. But I'll show you again on me. And if you notice, when I pull his hair down, see how his cowlick drags this thing down? So you're going to have to go back in and gently hold the hair and just point cut and even it out. So there's Misha. All right, so Misha's done for now.
All right, thank you.
And the few things that you do need are a good sharp scissor, you know, a comb, and clips. And if you don't have clips, then you can use bobby pins and, you know, anything that'll hold your hair back, or even when your hair is wet, it will hold back. But hopefully you'll be doing it on dry hair, because on dry hair, your hair is already sprung up and you can kind of control, you know, how uneven it is. So I'm going to just show you quickly. All right, so where the comb leaves the head, you hold on to that. You take your comb, put it right at that point, find your edge of your eyebrow. Now I'm doing this without glasses so that you can see, so hopefully I get there correctly. I'm going to bring it down like that. And I got a peek. So there it is, you can see it. And then again, you bring your comb up there, put your finger down there and lead it over to the finger, the comb. So you see I use the comb for sectioning. So I went like that. All right, and here's my bangs. So the rounded one will be combing your hair down so that everything kind of comes in. I have a lot of body and a lot of curl in my hair, so I'm gonna let it loose a lot. And you basically just go in and lift the hair out a little bit because it's a little bit more forgiving. If you cut it flat down, then you're gonna have a more solid bang. Pinch it in and then just basically go in and point cut. So we're gonna point cut like this. And when you let the hair down, if your hair is straight, you'll see that it curves over. You're not going to see that on me. And then if you're going to be doing a straight bang, I suggest doing it in 3 sections. One side always hangs down a little bit lower than the other, depending on your hair. Again, the body, the cowlicks, that kind of thing. And you comb the hair down. And you, again, hold it out, don't hold it flat. So when you're combing it out. Hold it out like that. And again, we're gonna do point cutting because point cutting is more forgiving. And I don't want solid lines on you guys coming in, you'd be mad at me. So we cut it straight. And there's my guide right there. Take this, and because it's a straighter bang, you're gonna go right over to where the hair goes down. And then again, you're gonna point cut it. And then we're gonna go to the other side. And we're bringing it, I lost my section. So we're gonna go from where that hair comes from. We're gonna comb it out. Like this, again, holding it out. And then we're gonna point cut it straight. I usually have an angled bang, so you're gonna see that I didn't really cut much off of there. So here it is, that's the straight bang. Unfortunately, I have curly hair, so you're not gonna see that. And then, so the curve, not the curve, we're gonna do the angle now. So the angle, again, the same basic sectioning again. Where the comb leaves the head, go down to where the edge of the eyebrow is here. Same thing, other side. Did you see that piece just get pulled in there? But I'm holding it so it should just come right out. And so then for an angled bang, I don't want to cut too much hair off of my head, so I'm just gonna show you. So you kind of just want to soften it up a little bit. We're going to comb it out again. You saw that I combed it out. And then you're going to angle. Now, rule of thumb is that hair does spring up quite a bit, so watch out how much you're cutting. I never tell people to cut their bangs, you know, beyond right about here, because once it springs up, it ends up right around the eyebrow. So, okay. So anyway, you go in, you hold it out, and you point cut it all the way down, and then it should come down in through an angle like that. The layering on the top of the bang section, and show you the bang section again, right there. Put your finger down to the edge of your eyebrow, follow it. Get those hairs out of the way. Now we are only adding a tiny bit of layering to this. So we're gonna hold it straight out like this. And I wanna see what I'm doing here. So you comb it up gently, pull it up, and find where your bang falls out. Do not cut past that. And just a little bit of hair, and we're gonna point cut that. Now, the more you take, the more you're gonna see the difference between your old haircut and your new. So only do a teeny, teeny bit. And that's basically the slight layering, the curved, the angled hair bang trim. And so basically that's it. I do have a picture of the section of the bang. I don't know if you guys, yeah, you guys can see that. So that's a really small bang. I don't go much past the eyebrow teaching people how to do it. If you have strays that kind of fall out, you know, you just comb your hair down and find those pieces, pull the rest of it back, clip it, and then again, just kind of gently point cut them in. You don't want to cut too far into that angle again, or just the side of the hair, because you can end up with a funny looking mess. You know, and when you guys get back into the salon and we're going to cut your hair, there's going to be a lot of crazy stuff coming in. So just do a little bit and you should be fine. And that's it. And so we're getting to the point where we're going to ask questions. I just put up my chat. I can't see anything anymore, so.
So thank you, Sandy. I'm glad that you, I'm glad that you were able to show us that with your own hair. Amazing. So we are going to open it up to questions. I'm sure we all have a lot of them, and you can do it through chat, or you can unmute yourself temporarily in order to ask the question. So Linda Lee says, Sandy, you are a champ at cutting your hair on Zoom.
Thanks, Linda. Have you cut yours yet?
So I have a question is, I didn't quite catch what you said about, is it better to cut your hair when it's wet or dry?
I'd say dry, because when your hair is wet, it stretches so much more and you're going to end up with more of a mess. And your natural cowlicks will naturally dry where they are. Hair cutting isn't like a exact science, so it's not going to be geometrically correct. It's going to be what you see is correct. It's all about what you see. So do it on dry hair, you're a little safer.
Looks like you have a question, a couple of questions.
Perming straight hair. I would never suggest anybody to perm their own hair. That is a much more dangerous kind of thing to do. But I permed hair years ago. You know, it's fun to have curl in your hair when you haven't had it before. I love having my hair straightened. But, you know, that's a preference kind of thing. Yeah, cutting the hair around the ears with hearing aids and glasses. I need advice. Does that mean that you want to cut your own hair around the ears, because taking the hearing aids out would definitely be good. Yeah, glasses. I need the glasses. So I was gonna, actually, Misha, can you come over here for a moment? And this is really, again, you're cutting into a haircut that's previously been done, and it may not look perfect, but it'll make you look less shaggy. So Misha, take a seat quick.
Sandy?
Yes, hon.
Anne's question is about cutting her partner's hair, not her own, or perming her partner's hair. No, cutting it?
I think that's a little bit more of a advanced thing. Those are chemicals that you can actually burn somebody or blind them. It's not suggested. I know a lot of people do things at home, but sometimes it's not always the best to do that. And then on top of it, combing the hair smooth and putting on the end wraps, it takes a lot of practice, you know. That's why you go to school for that.
I think it was two separate questions.
Right.
There's one about cutting, like as you're about to do on Misha.
Oh, cutting, around here?
Yep.
So
Yep.
this is, yeah, that's what I was just gonna show you. So basically, you just pull the hair down, comb into the hair, hold the hair down, and then just kind of cut around the edges. Can you guys see that? Remember, my shears are really sharp. You probably want to have good quality sharp shears. And that's all you do. So you just comb down, hold, and cut. And now after you do that, of course, you want to cut into that and any other stray hairs that stick out. And that's it. And then the fronts, if the fronts are getting kind of heavy, then you just kind of, oh, his hair is so straight, it's hard to hold it. Cut it down like this and cut down to where the sideburn is. And that usually lightens it up a little bit. I don't suggest cutting into the hair because that is definitely where the mistakes start to happen. Okay. All right, Misha, thank you.
There was also a question about long layers. Someone had missed that.
The top of the head, long layers, yeah. So that's basically the same thing as the bangs, except for you're combing everything straight up off of, you know, the top of the head like this. And I don't have the video on, so I'm gonna try to flip this mirror around. Hey, what a good look, huh? So you comb everything up and you find your previous layers that you, you know, used to have, and just follow the angle. Sometimes it's pulled more forward, but you have to be careful because this bang section here should never be cut into the layers. So you always make sure that it's shorter than the layers that you cut. If you pull forward, you're safer that you don't cut into things. But again, these pieces and through here should be shorter than what you're cutting as well, because then you can end up with a, you know, like a hole in the side of your hair. So you basically comb the hair straight up in the air, find that, make sure the bangs are shorter, and make sure the length of your hair is shorter. And then I would suggest to comb forward, and again, just point cut like that. And you use section by section. So you can do the top and then comb this stuff up into it. And you'll see the guide. Once you cut that section there, there'll be some shorter hairs underneath. So you'll see that's where your guide is. And you always just cut it to the guide, and be careful not to cut yourself too. And then once you do that, you can do the back of your head. And that's basically basic layering, but I would not do anything beyond that. That makes sense? Let me just put my glasses on so I can see. Oh, I'm a mess. side layers and long bangs. Hi, Anessa. The side bangs, side layers. See, the sides, again, I'm a little bit worried about you guys cutting into the angle of the hair because that is definitely a more advanced technique. I'm afraid to show you, Anessa. So basically, with angling the hair, all I do is, not all I do, all I would do if I were you is to just blend in those bangs. See how this gets a teeny bit longer right through here? I'd pull it down and then I would just kind of quickly just tap a little bit and just a little, and that'll just blend it in good enough so that before you get back in to the salon, it will just blend everything in. So
So we have a bunch of questions. Let me just start them. When cutting longer layers, should your hair be wet?
The layering, yeah, wet is a little easier because then you can see the guide. But do the bangs first and then kind of blend, wet it down and then blend it in.
Okay.
How do you cut your
so
hair in the back of your hair? How do you cut it?
You don't. I'm a hairstylist and I don't cut the back of my own hair. If somebody were helping you, basically you sit up with your shoulders straight, you put your chin to the chest, you're sitting straight, they comb the hair flat down onto the skin, and then basically you hold the hair right flat onto the skin and then comb it down, hold it, and then cut below your hand like that. And that's really it. It's not easy to do on thick hair because it ends up looking really choppy. You can section off little by little, but again, that's a more advanced technique. It's not something that I would suggest if you're desperate, maybe, but that's probably too advanced of a technique.
What kind of scissors would you recommend buying, Rebecca?
They do have some hair cutting shears on Amazon, and also I thought somebody said CVS. Cricut, I think, is one of the ones. They're about $50. Paper shears just don't cut the hair right. They're kind of big and bulky anyway. What do you call it? So I would just go on Amazon and look for those, or CVS, places like that. They have like men's hair cutting kits, the clippers too, that you get. I have a pair that I bought at Costco and they were about $50. I mean, they're okay. They're not like a professional one, but they work good enough, but that's a different thing altogether. But just using some nice sharp shears.
How would you sharpen your scissors?
Huh?
I have a follow-up question to that of myself. How would you sharpen your scissors, or do you?
You have it done professionally because it doesn't work at home. Believe me, I tried it once and I wrecked my shears. So not a good idea. Just have it done. And the shears around $50. It'll last you a long time. You probably will never need to sharpen them. I sharpen my shears every 6 months or so, and that's with continuous use. So I don't even think that's an issue at that point. So
Marie asks, what should you do with split ends?
The split ends. Well, hopefully this is coming to an end and you'll be able to get in there. But cutting a whole haircut, even when you don't have training on somebody else, is just, it's a lot more complicated than it seems. Otherwise, everybody would be cutting their own hair. So, the basic layer on the top of the head, the bangs, and if you feel comfortable doing the perimeter, which I still don't think, I think it's just too advanced of a technique, that's what I say. There's a lot on YouTube. You can watch those, but seeing and doing are two different things.
Linda says, I wish we were all I think we're all wishing we lived in Sandy's house.
I know my daughters and my son-in-law get to benefit from that one, huh?
Carol asked, where do you get your scissors sharpened? Any knife sharpening service?
I have a professional sharpener that comes into the salon. They don't even do other people's shares. These are strictly shares that are made for hairstylists. So, you know, they're just, you can go to a knife sharpening place or, you know, something like that.
Okay. What happens to your hair if you don't get it trimmed?
Okay, so basically your hair, once it starts getting dried out, it does get brittle, and when you're combing it, even when it's conditioned and wet, it starts to stick together, and then you just basically ripping your hair out. So basically combing your hair in the shower with conditioner will prevent a lot of the breakage. I leave a comb in my shower so that I just comb it through every time. And once you start feeling snagging, those are the splits. So gently run your fingers through it first and then comb from the bottom up.
Julie says, what is the name of your salon and exactly where are you located?
So I'm in Lexington Center. I'm Copoli Hair Salon. I'm right on the corner of Waltham and Mass Ave, right next to Rancatories. Right on this next building over. So.
Okay.
Phone number?
781-862-2277. And Kelsey should answer.
Even now?
Yes, she's mobile.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Olivia wants to know, how do I get Misha's fade haircut?
Misha's what?
Fade haircut.
Fade haircut. Actually, he needs another fade. Well, basically, that's again a more advanced technique, but basically with the fade, you're gonna start off with no guide and kind of cut and blend upward, and then you start off with a 1 and go a teeny bit further up, and then you start off with a 2. But it's a lot harder than it actually appears. It's not like just putting the guides on and it happens. Anywhere you cut with that guide is going to leave a line, and then your next one is going to be a slight bit longer, and that's where the you know, the actual hairstylist needs to make it look good and professional. But if you just do a you know, like a 1 or a 2 or a 3 on your clipper, you know, the little guards that come with that, and just stick with 1 and just kind of go around the head in all different directions. I actually did a video yesterday and I haven't edited it yet. So, and it was with a 1, and it's a really, really short haircut. And I showed, you know, how to go around the edges and stuff like that. And in that one, there was some facial hair. I see Ines is looking for the beard trimming, and it basically is the same thing. You take that guard and you pick one size and you put it on. Most guys, you're gonna have like a 1 or a 2. It's pretty short. So you just kind of come up and around and you go in all different directions. And then that little piece that gets caught right there, you basically have them stick their tongue like that. And then you trim it in all different directions with their tongue in there. So that's what that is. And what else?
I don't think I got your phone number. 781
862
862-2277. Okay.
Correct. Yes. Thank you. Maybe I have a new customer. That would be nice.
Yeah, when you're going to open.
I don't know. We'll see. I actually haven't seen any updates lately. I would assume that Governor Baker will be coming on today sometime if he hasn't already. So I've been kind of preparing for this. So
Yeah.
has anybody heard?
No. So if we want to order something from Amazon, should we just put haircut, scissor, or share?
Yeah, hair cutting shears.
Shares, SHAR,
Shares? Yeah.
Okay.
SHE, yeah, share. Yeah. EAR.
Great.
Thank you.
I'll put the all of your information on our chat notes, and I'll send them out to everybody after this session.
Okay.
So any other questions for Sandy? No? Well, there was a couple things we talked about, Sandy, that you had said that you would potentially be available to FaceTime with people if they had specific questions.
Yeah, I could actually FaceTime and, you know, if they want to trim their bangs, something like that, I could be available to do that.
Okay, I'll put that in the information that I sent to everyone. And
Okay.
you're also doing a workshop next Monday at 11 on
Yes.
root touch-up.
Yes. Yep.
And
so I'll be covering basically just how to get by, you know, because coloring your own hair is also a very difficult thing to do. And you're also putting your kitchen or your bathroom at risk. So I'll be covering, you know, how to protect your stuff from disaster.
awesome. Thank you so much. I think we'll all be looking a little prettier this week.
Well, thank you for inviting me to do this. It was fun.
Okay,
I was a
well,
little nervous, but it's fun.
Maddie, oh, I did want to say Maddie said something about making sure to tell people to check in with their stylist when we open back up.
Yes, your stylists are all really just waiting to get back. We're like these kind of people that we want to do this kind of thing. I enjoy being around people, and you know, the whole thing. It's been hard to be out, so I'm looking forward to it. Yay.
Okay, well, thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Oh, hi, Eve. I miss you guys. I can't wait to get back. Thank you.